Alright, I've got 3 reasons you need to start journaling, and if you don't already journal, you're going to probably want to pay attention to this. It's got some really powerful benefits that not a lot of people know about that I think you're going to like. And I know it might seem like it's kind of pointless to some people, like you're just kind of writing down your thoughts and like, who cares what you write down? And especially if you're not going to read them back, well, you should be reading them back, and I'll explain why later, but it's not pointless. There's some real benefits behind this. So before we get into this, make sure to subscribe, and if you didn't already know, I'm Stef. I teach people how to raise their vibrations through biohacking. So I do have a free video training if you click the link in the description. It's about an hour long here on YouTube, and you can check out that. Maybe pause this and watch that, or watch it afterwards or whatever. So I've heard people ask things like, what's the point of journaling? Because all you're doing essentially is writing down your thoughts. You already know your thoughts because you're having them. So why would you write them down? It seems kind of pointless. Well, there's a few reasons. One of the first reasons is it helps to get things off your mind. You might not know this, but when you have something on your mind, even subconsciously, let's say it's like you're trying to remember what you should buy when you go shopping. If you hold that thought in your subconscious mind and you just try and just think about like trying to remember it later, it uses up a certain amount of brain power, and we have a finite amount of brain power and willpower. So by using that brain power up, trying to remember that, you're taking it away from other stuff that you could be using the brain power for. And you hear high-level CEOs talk about this all the time, especially people like Mark Zuckerberg and others. They talk about, as much as possible, trying to reduce the amount of things they have to remember and think about, and how many decisions they have to make, to the point where they even wear the same clothes every day, because they know that by using their brain power to make those kind of mundane decisions, it takes away brain power from high-level decision making later. So journaling is another way of doing that. You know, you get, instead of, I don't want to say worrying about, but instead of like having these thoughts somewhere stored in your subconscious, you write them down, get them out of your mind, and then they're gone. They don't take up any more space, or if you want to use a computing analogy, they don't use up any more RAM. So another really powerful reason that you really should be journaling is that you're able to look back on your state and how you were thinking later. So of course, when you're in the moment, you know what you're thinking, you know what your thoughts are and everything like that. But then later on, it's very hard to actually remember specifically what you were thinking at a particular point in the past. Let's say you try and get a raise at work. And if you don't journal that, you won't remember the reaction, you won't remember what went well or what went badly. So the next time you try and ask for a raise, you're kind of relying on your memory. And it's been shown that our memories are fairly inaccurate. They're very subjective. We can distort memories, and we can even, depending on our state, when we recall the memory in the future, we actually change that memory quite a lot sometimes. Like, we'll change big details of it. Whereas if you journal it as soon as it happens, or the same day, you can look back on that, and it's almost like a snapshot of what you were thinking at that particular time. Very useful, very, very useful, especially for like recording how you deal with conflicts and stresses, and what went bad and what went good. But it really does reduce your brain fog massively. It really does. I'm going to tell you one more powerful tip for journaling, probably the most important one. But before I do that, I just want to mention, and by the way, this is not sponsored or anything, but I am an affiliate, so I will get a small commission if you do decide to get this. But I thought I would mention Habit Nest. Really, really cool journals. You know, they sent me one. I use it. It's got really, really interesting stuff at the beginning and end, like kind of like resources and references. There's a link in the description. It's a really cool journal, and if you want to get started with journaling and you don't know where to start, that's a pretty good place. So go and check that out, or at least check out the video I made talking more about the Habit Nest journal. So all of these links, by the way, are in the description. Okay, so the most powerful journaling tip, and this, I can't make this more obvious, it's about how much you do it. It's about how consistent you are. It doesn't matter if you write one page or even one paragraph. The most important thing is that you do it every day, and everyone can write a paragraph a day. So that's the last tip. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time.